Hi, everybody. Welcome to Spill the Tea with Bougie Miles. This week, I am joined by my very good friend and fellow Miles to Memories blogger, Ian Snyder. Ian, tell everybody where they can find you. And yeah, hi. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me. So you can find me. I do write for Miles Memories. Started with them last year, and it's been a fantastic experience. Got to meet you, Bethany. I got to meet Mark. Sean. Actually, I kind of met Mark before, or before that, but Sean and DDG and everyone else has been great. So I do also blog for Travel Update, and my handle there is Family Flies Free, and so that's the other spot you can find me.
Yeah, you should definitely check out his stuff because it's like super informative. And I happen to think it's like right up my alley because we both love airline miles and crediting flights and all that
Yeah.
nonsense.
I'll say
Okay,
I do
great. So,
at least in theory, because for me, I mean, I have gotten a couple
but you know,
options and matches and stuff, but some of it's just like the academic exercise, like, oh wow, you could do this for like $1,000 and get it's so much. But I'm a numbers guy. Redemptions and earning and redeeming is all that's right up my alley.
yeah, the best messages in my Slack account come from you because you'll say, "Hey, did you see this flight? It flies from X, Y, and Z to X, Y, and Z, and it earns however many MQMs and EQMs." And I'm always like, "Yes, thank you." My
Yeah,
favorite.
there's
Um,
some crazy ones that I've seen. Yeah, I forward you the best,
the best.
the
Wait, you're going
juiciest,
on the
the bougiest.
we're both going on the Miles to Memories flight to Brazil. Where are we going? Africa?
um, the LATAM, is that how you say it?
Yeah, sure. Mhm.
Flight from originated in Mexico City to Cape Town and Sao Paulo, Brazil. So we'll have a day in Brazil, but
Mhm.
get to Cape Town and we'll be paid under $300 or about $300 for business class one way. It was
I
something.
was the last one to book it, so I paid like 350, but in thank you points, it was less. So
I think mine was like 303, and I used Ultimate Rewards, and it was just like, of course I'll do that.
yeah. Now, did you book one way or round trip?
I didn't book round trip. I couldn't price out a round trip itinerary. I didn't know how long I could be away. I didn't know if it would work. Details to sort out. I honestly still expect it might get canceled. We'll see, especially since South African Airways is kaput,
Yeah,
liquidating, and one of the last segments is actually SAA. So we may or may not get to fly that. We'll see. I'm fingers crossed that it's still going to work out. But
I know we're going to.
oh, I sure hope so. There's like six of us. I think it's 5 or 6 of us on
We're
board.
gonna have so much fun. Like so much fun.
Yeah. So if it works, it's going to be the best thing ever. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to miss it at that point. So
And you promised that we would spend like at least one day in the final location.
yes, yes. I
Because I
think
also have not to return, but I better get one day, like one night over.
I was planning 2 nights, and then I was looking at an evening departure back, which would put me back overnight to Europe for an award. I was going to use United Miles or plan miles, but award to Europe and then fly back. She can be back mid-afternoon, I think Friday that week after a Tuesday arrival, something like that. So, see. I
Yeah.
had a board in hand, but it was on tap, Portugal. It wouldn't price out at United.com. I was too lazy to call in and book it, and it disappeared. So I'm a little frustrated now.
Yeah, I got very lucky that PDX Deals guy booked like the last two on Amex and said, I think there's one more on City. And I was like, oh, wait, maybe I did book it on Amex.
I think you did. I can't remember.
You know what? I did. I did. It was, he booked the last two on City. And then he said,
Okay.
I feel like I saw three on Amex. And I was like, you booked the last one. But I was like, no, this is not fair. All the Miles Memories people are going, and you booked one for your wife, and now I can't go. And then he was like, just check Amex. And I did. And he was right.
Was there? Okay.
Never have complained. I mean, not that I was serious, but yeah. So I ended up finding one, and then I ended up getting my 35% miles back from Amex for booking with the business platinum account. So
Oh, did they post already?
they did, yes.
Okay, I thought it was always after time of flight, but is it also like after 6 or 8 weeks? It used to be really quick, and it hasn't been like that for a couple of years at least.
They don't make you wait for the flight anymore. It's either 6 or 8 weeks, yeah.
Okay. Okay. I think I remember before it was like within days they post, so you could just
Uh,
book another ticket, and the miles will keep coming back.
no mas.
Back. 8 weeks is a wait.
Well, yeah, especially for me this year because I was cancel. Well, I was going to cancel my business platinum account, and the woman was like, "We have no retention offers for you, but you do have 35,000 membership rewards points outstanding that are
Ooh.
coming through as a refund from your from a flight that you booked. I forget what flight it was." And I was like, "This is amazing, right?" So I'm not getting a retention offer.
But you're stuck.
Totally stuck. Yeah.
Yeah, that's no good.
Yeah, that kind of sucks, but whatever.
I wonder if you could have downgraded to a gold, and would they have like still
No,
posts at that point? Or oh,
no.
that's
She said if you move, like if you switch accounts, like the original offer is no longer available.
terrible. They have you over a barrel at that point.
hmm Yeah, and it like makes so much sense for them because they changed it from a couple days, like you were
Mhm.
just saying, to what, like 6 to 8 weeks now.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That, your feed posts, you go through that date, you're hosed.
Yep.
That's nice.
Yeah. And now it's like, what do I do? Because should I just keep the card because, we're getting these extra credits, and I'm not gonna lie, I can probably come up with like ways to use the double Dell credit
Oh, okay.
and figure it out. Anyway, so what
I
I
hardly even look.
is the fact that you have been flying, and
Yes.
I want to know everything about it, even though I already knew you tell me 10 minutes ago when I forgot to press record.
Okay. So today I am in Brentwood, California, after being in Tucson, Arizona. So I've been working the last couple of days here, but before that, I did fly on Sunday, and I flew back to California on Wednesday. So Sunday flying out, there were some definite differences from now flying now versus flying a few months ago.
So,
In some ways, it was pretty similar, but in some way, otherwise it's drastically different. It's kind of depends what you're looking at. So I live in this I live in the middle of nowhere. So our local airport is called Arcata Eureka, and ACV. Yeah, almost no one knows the airport code. As I've mentioned before, we used to have a fantastic 6 flights a day, and now with COVID-19, we're down to about 1 flight a day, maybe 2.
wow.
And we had three nonstop destinations. So there's my fingers. So San Francisco, Denver, and Los Angeles. And now we're down to 1, maybe 2 daily to SFO. So
Wow.
I got to the airport. I give myself barely any time there because it's so tiny. You're through security, no at all. That was no different. I was like one of 2 people in line at that time. So I had a mask on, had my bags, went through the line. They still actually honored TSA pre-check. I didn't ruin my shoes. I didn't ruin my jacket. And I just kept everything in my bag. It's really hit or miss there whether they do that or not. But I handed the agent my ID, and I had just joked with my wife about this when she dropped me off. And I'm like, they're going to ask me to remove the mask so they can look at my face to make sure I match the ID. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. So yes, the kiosk thing, and like, can you pull the mask down? So I yank it down, and like, okay, yeah, I matched the ID from, I guess, well enough from 12 years ago. From so
Like they even noticed. It was really
yeah. And I walked through the metal detector, everything's fine. I grabbed my bags, and it was super quick and easy. So, but they did, even though I'm like just a few feet from her, and they had a plastic shield up, so they had masks and everything there, so, and gloves and everything. I think they typically have gloves, but so they were all, yeah, they're all PPE'd up for the day, and but super pleasant. Actually, that was my experience in both places, at ACV and Tucson. The TSA agents, in my opinion, were slightly more pleasant than normal, probably because there were fewer passengers.
yeah.
But plane's there. We get on the flight. I was surprised how full it was. So I had thought, okay, man, this is a CRJ. I could tell based on the seat map. They blocked all of, I think, like, I'm to call it column B. All B seats were blocked, so you couldn't book
Bro.
at all. So I booked, of course, I booked kind of middle of the plane, and there may be 20 people ish, give or take, on board, and they pretty well spread out enough. It's hard even with that many. I mean, you're getting close to half to 50. There's probably like, I don't know, 40% of the CRJ, the CR200, and so it's not full, but for the most part, no one's right next to anyone else that day, which was good. So short little hop, San Francisco, arrive at San Francisco, and it's like, compared to normal, ghost town. It's
an international airport, so it's so hard for me to imagine.
We arrive on the CRJ at the end of one of the arms of Concourse F. This is Terminal 3. If you're familiar with SFO, it's United Terminal. It's busy all the time. It's one of their hubs, one of their big hubs. And arrive at the end of the terminal at the concourse, and there's basically people walking off the plane, walking down there, and that's it. There's like 2 people sitting out there. There's a flight, maybe I think next time there was like 3 hours down the line or something like that. So there's no one there. I mean, it was weird. And
do you like venture into lounge areas at all just to see what it looked like? That's what I would have done.
So I don't have any, like, dirty little secret right now, I don't have any access. None. We have a card last month, so
not add you to something so you can at least get like priority pass.
I had it with the Amex, but there's nothing there. Like, I don't have a platinum. I had a Hilton Aspire. You can't use the restaurants. There's only restaurants in Terminal 3. I don't have United Club memberships. There's nothing there. I think the one United Club at the middle of Concourse F in Terminal 3 was open. I'm not sure, but I thought they had 1 or 2 open in SFO. I think 1 in Terminal 3 and 1 in the International Terminal.
Interesting.
The Polaris Lounge is closed, and I walked by it when I came back. It's closed for sure. And I also know that the one by Concourse E is closed because I walked by that ahead of my next flight. So both those are closed.
Yeah, I'm like, what do you need it for now anyway, for real?
You don't. Like, I would not have United Club access except for every once in a while I end up with those one-time passes from a card or whatever. So I was guested in one time by a lady that I had met through, I think, the Travel Grumps group, because we were both on the same flight back to Turkey. She's the one other person I know of who's in a travel group area. So she guested me, and we just chatted and traveled. But it was so that's only, I think, 1 or 2 times in the lounge there. But I had no lounge access. But even if I wanted food in the lounge, I mean, I had to buy it out in the terminal, and there was 3 places, 4 places, or not even that. Like, everything's closed. I'm in the middle of what should be the food court in the middle of Concourse F in Terminal 3. At first, I'm like, wow, there is 1 place open.
My favorite.
Second. Sorry, say again.
My favorite.
The one there was Ladle and Leaf, and there's like, well, okay, well, your favorite.
We're talking about Burger King.
Burger King. I just forget Burger King.
My favorite. You can't forget it.
Burger King is like between the 2 arms, between Concourse E, Concourse F. So it's popular. It's the first thing you see if you look to the right out of security. So it's where everyone went. So I did see the one place was open. There's also a coffee place open there, but literally everything, everywhere I've ever eaten at in Concourse F is closed. Literally everything. So I'd never eaten this Ladle and Leaf place. So I walked through the rest of the terminal. There's a gigantic line in Burger King. Ladle and Leaf was like 3 or 4 people. Burger King's like 25 people, all spaced 6 feet apart. So it stretches for like forever. Joining that. I don't want Burger King anyway. So I walk all the way back. I grab a salad. And I think I had like a Chipotle chicken salad, something like that. I can't even remember. At Ladle and Leaf.
Not as good as a Whopper, whatever it was.
Maybe I get like 1 Whopper or Whopper Junior, depending on how hungry I am at Burger King and how much I actually just need some calories to tide me over, because there's no reason to go there. So I go to McDonald's for my kids.
Okay.
For me.
I have 2 things to say about this. Number 1, you need calories. I mean, what I would do to be able to say that once in my entire life, like, oh, I need the calories. Yeah. Number 2, before I accidentally forgot to press record, I told Ian that I'm sending him a Burger King gift card, and he was going to order exactly what I tell him on the Burger King menu, so that he can discover how amazing Burger King is. Anyway, and I'm also a health freak, but I take off at airports and rest stops. So there you go. Next.
There you go. Okay. Fast food, yeah. I'll do it now and then, but just not those. Oh, man. You know, Burger King is an option, just so you know. If you do transit SFO, Burger King is there for you.
There you go. But huge line.
Huge line. You got to brave the line. So give yourself, I don't know, 2 hours.
And you ended up eating at the only salad place that was open. You said there was a salad place and a coffee place.
Coffee place, and thought the sign said one more place was open. There's like I don't know, the news, Hudson News or somewhere you can probably buy prepackaged stuff. I have a photo of it, but there's like, I think a total of 6 places open out of everything in Terminal 3, which is just crazy. It's crazy.
How was the communication? Like, how did you feel that the signs communicated, like, what was the reality?
Pretty well. I mean, there's signs about take precautions, wear a mask. I actually got alerts on my phone before I boarded, especially flying back from Arizona to San Francisco. They're mentioning like California's mandating. Like in Tucson, it's like, please wear a mask inside. In SFO, at least the airport or county, I don't know. I think it's San Mateo County, not San Francisco County, but or it's a state, I can't remember, but it's like a mandated inside, you must wear a mask. It wasn't being enforced though. I mean, there'd be the random person without one. I was wearing one. Most people were wearing one, except for me, basically. So walking through there, I walked through most of the terminal just to take a quick look. I mean, whole section of Terminal F was basically deserted. Towards the Centurion Lounge, there's no one. I don't think they had any flights there. And unless, oh, I don't think the lounge is open. I didn't go check the door on that one. I'm not sure. I doubt they're open right now.
Fired.
But I had access when I did have a business platinum card. I really liked.
I'm just curious because, like, it's one of the benefits that they justify their, $600 annual fee with, right?
You,
So I'm just
you
curious.
better get a refund. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of some sort. Because if they're closed, it's like you can't use them. It was a nice perk. I used that one maybe 4, 5, 6 times, something like that, over the course of about a year and a half. And it's super nice. I mean, I think that lounge in particular has really good food. They have a wine tasting bar thing, that automated dispensers. So I did that, I think, once. But the only problem, that one got super crowded.
Mm.
By the end, I was just like, oh, this is terrible. This is too many
Yeah.
people. But nice space. But yeah, I have no access. So even if anything was open, can't go. But I walked back through Concourse F and back to Concourse E. I round the corner and it's like, oh look, there's one person, 2 people. I mean, there's more. You walk down there a little ways and like, okay, there's people in seats and stuff, but there's no restaurant open. There's nothing open, and everyone's spread out. They have little stickers in the middle seat, so they like almost all the seats are set to 3, and so there's a thing in the middle seat basically saying keep your distance, so people are staying apart. But with so few people, it's easy. I mean, there's about 20 people on my flight to SFO, and then maybe 30 to 40 on the flight from San Francisco to Tucson. So with United, and I think all carriers now, you have to wear a mask on board. So I still had mine on. Just kept it on for most of the time. Every once in a while, I just pull it down over the nose, and just like it gets so hot and annoying, and I need to breathe. And when recirculated airplane air tastes like fresh air, it's bad. So, but I kept it
That
on.
was my favorite. Like, it feels so crappy in the first place, but to feel like, oh, now I can breathe.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like I've never worn one like this. I had it on for 98% of the time, kept it on, doing what I can. I was supposed to, especially in enclosed spaces like that. But it's just like it gets to be a lot. And I'm not sick. I have no symptoms. I'm very fantastic. So, but it's like I'm trying to stick with those either mandates or regulations here in California or out in Arizona that's starting to open up. Suggestions strongly suggested that people do that. So, arrive in Tucson. I mean, the flight experience is standard, except that, I mean, safety is the same. A couple weird quirks, like they didn't demonstrate the oxygen mask, which is kind of hysterical. They have masks on, but want to like take the mask off and demonstrate the oxygen mask and get close to it. It was funny. So I skipped that part. I'm like, well, this isn't the critical part. Like, if we're gonna get that,
not like the only part that you have to do.
Yeah, I'm like, this. I've seen it like dozens and dozens and dozens of times, so it's not a big deal. But it's kind of an important, like the most important part of the safety demonstration, is it not? But so funny part. Then they're like, well, we'll have service. They said something like that, like, well, we'll have service in the flight, and then later it hit 10,000 feet. Like, oh, sorry, just kidding. There's no service because COVID-19. There's no water. There's no beverages. There's no food. There's no nothing. So you get to sit there for first flight's like 45 minutes.
Can you buy a drink if you want?
No, I think on one of the flights, I can't. It's fuzzy now already. I think they handed out tiny little 4-ounce bottles of water, and that was it. The other, I know the flight from Arcadia was nothing. But that was nothing anyway. Like, it's so short. It's like 37 minutes in the air.
Yeah, but sometimes they really screw up like your pregame schedule. You know? No.
I don't understand. Pre-game schedule?
Yeah, like, sometimes you're arriving somewhere, right? And, like, let's say you've had a drink at a lounge.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Can't, like, skip the gap drink because then you'll have a headache and the rest of the night will be ruined.
I got it. I follow now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, you couldn't know you can't buy anything.
No.
So, if you have a drink or two in the lounge, if you can get in the lounge, if you have a drink or two wherever you eat, you'll be skipping however long your flight is, plus all the ground time, plus everything. So, yeah.
So I think the lesson here is to skip drinking prior to your arrival,
Yep.
if that's an issue for you, which it is for
Yeah.
me.
It's not really an issue for me. I mean, flying is one of the few times I will have a drink, maybe two, well spaced.
Mhm.
And I mean, I have one and a half. And I'm just like, this time it's nap time. So that's the best part. So, but we arrive in Tucson too. I mean, even if you want to have one on arrival, no such luck. I mean, I arrived at 8 p.m. ish, and everything's closed. So
Wow.
get there. The rental car center's open. Everyone's just exiting the terminal. We might have been the last flight of the day. I don't even know. I mean, Tucson's not a big airport anyway. I've been there one other time, just arriving, and same sort of deal. We got there kind of late, but I remember a little more activity. What's hysterical though is that this flight had more people than my flight did with my kids 2 years ago when we went there. There were literally 10 people on that flight. I counted every single one, and this time we had like more like 40. So that was the funniest part to me. I get out to the rental car center and it's deserted. There's no one there. There's like 6 different rental car agencies, and they there's like 2 of them with a person on it. Both of them were just like staring at the desk, looking at their phone, playing a game, doing whatever on social media. I mean, there's nothing happening. So I walk all lonely over to Budget, and a lady helps me out, and so I rented it. It was a good deal. It was like $70 or something for 3 days. It was really, in my opinion, really good rate for rental cars.
$10 for 3 days?
Yeah, for I rented I reserved a compact, I should say. So that's a really good rate considering that it's usually like 50, 55, 60 a day where I live after taxes. $70 for 3 days is really good in my opinion. So
I'm, like, blown away right now. Wait. Okay, $7 for 3 days.
no, 70, 70, not
Oh,
70.
I'm like, wait. So I've only ever rented 1 car in my entire life.
Oh my goodness.
But, I think that was, like, for, like, half a day, and it was, like, $400, you know? It was a
It's
necessity.
one way.
Yeah, so it was during a snowstorm on the East Coast, and we were stuck in the Bahamas, and so we had to fly
Stay
into.
stuck in the Bahamas. This is like that's what you just stay stuck in the Bahamas.
Well, we did. We stayed in the Bahamas for an extra 2.5 days.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and so finally my sister, who, poor thing, was here taking care of 4 pets by herself, and, like, my pets are not, like, easy, like, they're all special. All of them. So she was like, "I can't physically do this anymore."
Oh, no.
Because it's a nightmare just to, like, be here. Like, the worst part of this quarantine is, like, not getting rid of my psycho at daycare for.
Pet daycare.
Yeah. Mhm.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he needs to go there because, like, yesterday, he found a rat in the backyard. We've never even seen a rat, but he found a rat, and now, like, his sole purpose in life is to, like, kill something else.
Oh no.
Yeah. It's yeah, so they're a lot of work, and, especially for one person who's not used to taking care of animals. So, long story short, we moved mountains to get home from Bahamas to Philadelphia. I think it was, like, $1,300 on AA for, like, a.
No way.
Yeah, and it was, like, plus 1,000 to get home to JFK. So, first time I ever rented a car was from Philadelphia to New York.
You paid
And
$400 for that. Oh my goodness.
oh, yeah, that
Awful.
was probably the most expensive trip I've taken in years.
To the
As you
Bahamas.
can imagine doing what we do.
And you go to the Bahamas like what? At least once a year?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh my goodness. That's
Never got stuck there, but, well, I mean, it's gonna happen eventually, right?
no, this is true. I mean, I've been stuck, but never stuck quite that bad. That's awful. And I can't imagine needing the need to get home. I mean, I've had a need like that one time, really needing to rent a car. It was a canceled flight out of Arcata. I am like, I gotta get down to the Bay Area, and then I got to somehow get to Las Vegas to get further to get to. No, I went to Needles, California, I didn't go to Vegas. So, but
We're trying to convince Ian that he's gonna love Vegas.
I've been to Vegas twice, and that is enough for a lifetime.
Mm.
Enough for a lifetime.
You haven't been there with us, but okay.
No, I haven't been there with you. And after New Orleans, I'm not so sure. So
It'll be fun. Anyway, so you so you had to go to Vegas.
I did. I rented and I drove as fast as I could to SFO because he was like, well, we have one flight left. I can't get you on the nonstop. So here's a ticket through Los Angeles to get to Vegas, which is just terrible. I mean, I was going to fly Arcata, SFO, Vegas.
Did you see the cat?
No, I didn't see the cat in the corner back there.
Busting out of the doors. You see the doors?
I love cats. You know that.
Yes. Oh, we're gonna talk about that.
We can talk about cats, yeah. I had to get like to Las Vegas for work, and so I drove. I did 10 over posted speed limit the whole way to make it to SFO to catch that plane.
Oh, you did 10 over the speed limit?
I never do 10 over. I do like 2 over. So I don't go around. I mean, maybe more
times. The rebel without a cause.
Yes, and the lady's like, I have a ticket. It leaves at 8:45, and I'm like, I look at my phone. I'm like, no, I can't make it. Like, I've never driven that fast. I've never made it there that quickly. I can't make this. And somehow I did.
You did it?
I got through. I dropped off the car, just told the lady I got to run, email me the receipt, running the whole way. And SFO rental car center is not at the terminal. So you run to the air train, sit on the air train, run at the terminal, get through TSA. Luckily, I think I had pre-check at that point. It was just like, get through TSA. And I'm running. I'm like, I'm going to miss this flight. And I run up the desk, and she's like, are you Snyder? And I'm like, yes, I'm Ian Snyder. And she's like, we've been calling you on the PA. I'm like, I wasn't here. So I just got here. so I get on the flight, and I was like the last person that flight. I think I was laughing because I think there was one other person who ran on after me, which is hysterical too. So they're missing 2 people at least from that flight. So I run on the flight. I get to Los Angeles. Of course, we sit on the tarmac for who knows how long. I'm looking at my phone again. I'm like, I'm gonna get stuck in Los Angeles now. This is worse. And so, and I run through, and I have to switch terminals and run from 8 to 7, I think it was at LAX. And I make that flight with like 5 minutes to spare. Wow. And land in Las Vegas, and it's 1 a.m. I get in the rental car line. It's like 15 people deep. They're taking forever. I get to the hotel like 2:30 a.m. and I have an like 9 a.m. On-site meeting in Needles, which is like 90 minutes away, something like that. So I barely got any sleep. It was
Did they compensate you fairly for like this aggravating travel?
I think I got a $125 voucher from United, and I got a refund for the canceled segments, which went back on the credit card, which then got deducted from the original ticket price that we spent to work. So that did not go anywhere.
Yay.
The $125 credit was mine. It was fine. I've made sure about that before, like it's issued to me. So that was sort of compensation, I guess, but the actual refund was not. So yeah, it was no fun.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like fun.
But your sound worse. Having to pay $1,300. I don't know what I've done. There's that cash would not have come out of my pocket. I don't know what I would have been looking at miles options until I found one. I mean, I don't know what I would have done. That sounds awful. So.
Well, so interestingly, coming out of Bahamas, you only have like 3 options to the East Coast.
Oh, okay.
So it's JetBlue, which was not running any flights, period. American, and I don't even think I had ever flown American at that point.
Oh, you didn't know what a joke they are.
Yeah, exactly. And Delta. And Delta also was not, or the flight more expensive, or it's interesting because Sky Miles is like the one currency that I don't carry. Like I use them. Yeah, I use them but I use them up.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I tend to like use them as quickly as I earn them, you know?
That's fine with Delta Miles. I mean, unlike other ones where I have really good specialized uses, it's funny because I'm the same way. If I have a chance to burn like 25,000 Sky Miles on a round trip versus I might save a bit, like maybe like, I don't know, 20,000 United Miles, I'll probably burn the Sky Miles if I had to, comparing.
So much easier to earn, right? Like
in some ways from the cards.
The prices are so fluctuatable. I made this word up.
Yeah. Yeah.
that you're like, well, why not? If it's a good price for me, I might as well, you know?
It depends on the cash price too and the tickets, but like the Delta flights, I've booked a couple for like 5,000, 6,000 Sky Miles. And when I was Delta Platinum, I would just hold tickets. I'm like, well, I have an idea. We go away this weekend or fly here. I'll just since I can be they'll be redeposited without a fee.
Mm-hmm.
5,000 from SFO to Seattle or something like that. Book it. It's easy. It's done. So
Yeah.
yeah, quick. And I like that. I really like that feature. I miss being Delta Platinum mainly for that. It was nice. I booked multiple trips ahead of time, just putting the Sky Miles to use, knowing that, hey, I ended up canceling like 3 out of 4 of them. But since there's no fee to cancel, I'm like, hey,
Yep.
book it, figure it out later. So
That's literally like, so I was AA executive platinum for a few years,
nice.
and I knew I was going to switch from AA to Delta, but Delta doesn't allow you to like switch over to their top tier. You have to like do platinum,
Right.
blah blah
Yeah.
blah. And I just remember thinking like, I don't know how I'm gonna live without this, because I can book any trip I want, right? And then like cancel it up until the day before,
Yeah.
and all my miles come back, and like that's the end of it, you know?
It's so nice.
God, I miss that.
It's so nice. It's nice to just like, hey, I have a bunch of miles, deal to wherever, and I think I might be able to do it. See if I can do it with the kids or without the kids or whatever, and or as a family, not as a family. I mean, just whatever the miles we have. If it's whatever the idea is, just fit it in, and then if it falls through, it falls through. And
Yeah, like who cares?
yeah, yeah,
I do miss that big time, but
yeah. Versus United, like I like my United miles because they fly out of Arcata,
yeah,
and so if I burn United miles, I
it's important.
burn them for that regional flight. Like I
Mhm.
just like Delta, I'll end up flying out of Sacramento or San Jose or San Francisco somewhere else, which is quite a drive for me. But with United, they're like gold because fares are crazy expensive out of ACV, and I have to spending them is nice out of there. I always make sure I can tack on that regional segment, but I have to know I'm traveling because if I cancel, it's
Mm.
125 bucks. So and that hurts.
Just
And
for awards or
yes. So if I use whatever miles for an award, the redeposit fee, I think within I can't quite keep up in my head with the rules right now,
yeah,
but
there's no like
I think 61 days or less than 61 days out is $125 redeposit fee with no status. It kind of gradually goes down the higher your status is, but I no longer have any United status at all. I never had more than silver, and the redeposit fee is just it's paying $125 to get like 12,500 miles back just hurts. Sure,
yeah,
I'd rather have the miles because they are still worth more, but once I've earned them once and now I'm paying to get them back, it just hurts a
I
lot.
know. Mm-mm. Okay, so I know that you did was it like a mileage run or a status run in January with Alaska?
I
And
did.
did you not match that?
United, does United not match that?
Yeah, you couldn't status match.
I probably could, and then I need to fly United.
Yeah.
I actually wrote an article for Travel Update saying, "Dear United, I will never fly a paid flight with you again," because
Tell us the story for sure.
they wouldn't. This was in the middle of the COVID-19 cancellations, and
Hmm.
I had a ticket back from. I was going to go to Copenhagen for just a few nights, and I do a few solo getaways like that a year. And
How
Air,
many?
say what?
How many solo getaways do you do like that a year?
I think last year was 3.
So your wife is a saint.
I'd
You
work.
have 3 kids, right?
Yes, yes, yeah, but they're quick. It's like 3 to 5 days. I mean, 5
Mhm.
like half days on either side. With so like might be there in the morning, gone in the afternoon, whatever. So, but she does fantastic with the kids. I mean, I fly for work probably 3 to 8 times a year. 2018 was the most, and I flew back east to Virginia like I think 7 times that year. Seven, I think 8 times. That is the most. So I think 8's the most in a year. So gone 3 to 6 days at a time. So I do travel for work a little bit, but this was the first year I did a few more getaways like that. Found a couple of crazy, fantastic deals, and ended up wanting to fly a couple products, and she's been fine with that. So head off for a few days, but in this case, I had booked I found what I thought was like a unicorn ticket. I've wanted to fly Air New Zealand, but their business class space is very stingy. They're very, very stingy with it. And all of a sudden I saw I had a ticket back to Copenhagen, and I've been looking for I guess the return to get me back home. And they I was going to fly in March. Well, COVID-19 happened. Everything's getting canceled. Air New Zealand canceled. This is their fifth freedom segment, so it's from London to Los Angeles on Air New Zealand, and then it continues to Auckland. So I booked that segment, found it, booked it with United Miles. Really good use. I was really looking forward to it. That gets canceled. So I call United. Oh, United already messed with the other segments too. Like everything had been changed on the ticket. That one's canceled. My flight from Los Angeles to Arcata has been changed by like 3 hours. And then now instead of going Copenhagen to London on Scandinavian air service, I'm going Copenhagen, Stockholm, London, and then flying London to Los Angeles to home. So it was
like a Bethany flight, but not in a good way.
No, and so I'm like, well, you've totally messed up this ticket. And so I'm the guy on the phone. He's like, well, to redeposit your miles, we need the $125 redeposit fee. I'm like, that's crap.
What?
Everything on the ticket. I mean, I know the Air New Zealand segment is not yours, and the SAS segments are not yours, but you even changed the other one. But everything has been changed on this ticket. Plus, even if I could fly, I mean, I think the border may have been open. I think they closed just before like I would have flown to leisure travel. Like, do not travel unless it's essential reasons. So, like I can't fly. I can't fly there. I know this is a return out of Denmark, so you don't care. I'd be coming home at that point, so there's no loss there. But to United, like they don't care. I mean, sure, we don't care if you can't get to Denmark to make your flight because whatever. But you've changed everything else on that ticket. My long haul segment is canceled. You haven't provided an alternative, and yet you're still asking me for $125. That's ridiculous. So
that's crazy.
People, 4 different agents, escalated it twice to supervisor, got nowhere. There's sorry, that's the policy. So, and I knew in the middle of this that United had to absolutely be cash strapped because everything's being canceled left and right. They're canceling routes, they're canceling flights. Everything's coming to a standstill. This is late March. This was at the very, very end of March. I was supposed to go. And like, I don't know, 10 days later, they get billions in government bailout. Like, oh yeah, now we have cash. Here, we can refund you now, no problem. So I just held on. He's like, well, we give you future credit. I'm like, I never just gotten future credit for a miles ticket ever. Like, so I'm just gonna hold on to a ticket that I booked with 70,000 miles. Like my miles are just like in suspended animation, just stuck until later. But after they got government cash, like, oh, okay, yeah, we'll cancel. That's fine. We understand.
Wow.
So they gave me the runaround on that, and I was irate because I'm like, this is when the rubber meets the road. You're supposed to refund canceled flights. I know it wasn't your canceled flight, but it's a canceled flight that's ticketed by you, and
it's just common sense.
Yeah, makes no sense. It's like if I don't know. It's like I ordered a pizza from Pizza Place. I'm like, oh, we'll deliver it to you, and like, oh, sorry, we can't send the delivery guy. Yes, you still pay us for your pizza's here, but I don't know, like an analogy to make, but it's like I can't. I'm paying for no service.
You didn't get what you paid for. That's
exactly. Yeah.
Like the essence of life.
Yeah. So that was United's story. I know lots of airlines are doing that. They're trying to keep all the cash in the coffers, and that's what they had to do to survive. So, I mean, I get that side of it, but at least be honest and just say, hey, we're going to hold it for 3 weeks. We're going to hold it. As if they would have told me, like, we're going to hold it for 2 weeks or 4 weeks or whatever. I've been like, okay, I'll call you back in. But they said, no, you get future credit through, I think it would have been like January of 2021. I'm like, okay, with no other options and no recourse at this point, and I've argued, I'm done. So, but anyway, so United, I use miles to still fly them, but paying to fly them, it's just, I don't want to give them any more money if I can avoid it. So I might have to for work, but whatever.
I happen to be in the same boat as you with United, just in terms of like, I've flown them once. One time. Bad that I don't ever want to do it again, regardless of like what I could. So like, you know, I've had opportunities to earn like 1K status from like 2 flights, and I don't want to do it because it's a layered issue. Number one, I have to go to Newark to fly them.
Oh, that's distance for you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's extra on top of JFK or LaGuardia. I know people hate LaGuardia, but I happen to love it because it's really small. And like I get there, I don't know, 25 minutes before my flight and we're good to go.
Oh, wow. Okay. That is good. I didn't realize this then.
I mean, don't count on it if you're watching. Don't count on it. But the first flight I ever missed actually was to the Bahamas.
Oh my goodness.
It was that same trip, by the way.
Oh.
First flight I ever missed in my entire life was from JFK.
Okay.
Because I had gotten so used to LaGuardia, I had no idea that JFK was like an extra like half an hour walk through the airport.
Oh, it's big. I don't even know what terminal you would. I don't know if you were flying. They're all separated too. So
I feel like at JFK, AA is 8, Terminal 8. That's
yeah, I don't know them well. I think Delta's 4. That's literally the only one I've been in.
yeah, Delta's 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was the first flight I ever missed. But that's kind of why I love LaGuardia. It's just like it's small and it plays like a regional airport, even though it's not. So.
It's not. Okay. I've just heard. So I've not personally, be candid, I've not personally flown in or out of LaGuardia.
Mm-hmm.
All sorts of horror stories.
Yeah.
Construction.
Yeah.
To me, I'm like, this is New York City, and you haven't put mass transit to this airport. You people are mad.
Like, it's annoying. It's for sure annoying. But
yeah.
Is it like saved by the fact that the experience is cut in half from JFK?
Yeah, it's right there. That makes sense. Yeah.
So that's sort of an interesting like take on it.
You know my favorite city airport is?
What?
Toronto City Airport, Billy Bishop.
Wait, is that Billy Bishop? Is that the one that is in the city or the one? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pearson, YYZ. Pearson is like
yes.
The airport from hell. I hate you, Pearson. Yes. But Billy Bishop, right? I mean, you're landing right. It feels like you're right next to the buildings. It's so
cool. Like, okay, so for people who don't know, a little bit of backstory is that my favorite city in the world is Toronto. I know it's crazy because I'm from New York.
It's a good city. It's a good city. There's better ones, but it's a good city.
And then there are 2 major airports into Toronto. There's what is it? YTZ, YYZ?
Yeah, YYZ is Lester. I think it's Lester Pearson. It's a big, big airport. And the YYZ is Billy Bishop, the tiny one on the island, right there.
Yes. So one of them goes like right into Toronto, where basically you just take like a 5-minute Uber to get to your hotel. And then the other one is really not that far. So I've actually learned that it's better. So you've flown Porter, right?
Yes, I love Porter.
Nobody else has heard of Porter.
I know, but there's such a cool. I booked some inter-Canada flights. I'm like, what is this airline?
Mm-hmm.
But they're the cheapest. I guess I'll book them, and it was fantastic.
Yeah, they fly right into Billy Bishop. They give you a free drink.
Yep.
Here's the problem with Porter, which is why I don't fly it anymore. They cancel like the last 3 flights every night.
Oh, ouch.
Yes. It's obviously that's not like a fact, but when my flight got canceled, it was the second to last flight of the night. I think it was like the 9:30. And I went up to the thing and the woman was like, honestly, it's probably going to be canceled. We tend to cancel like a lot of flights from 8 to 11, the last 3 flights of the night. And I was like, oh, this is great. So it's an excellent airport if you get in early, or leave early. Don't stay for like the last 2 flights of the night.
Okay. Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah, I know.
Our flight was out like 8 o'clock, 8 a.m.
So like you'll get on another, but like if you wait until the end of the night,
I'll get canceled.
It's risky. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Are you cool with playing Plead the Fifth?
Yes. Yes.
Here's how it works. You get 3 questions and you get to plead the 5th, meaning don't answer one of the questions. So are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Number 1. This one's easy, so don't plead the 5th. Who, in your opinion, who or what blog or blogger is the absolute best of all time? You think they're a superstar and they give you a run for your money as best blogger of all time?
There's a few I could go with.
Give me 2. I always like to hear people's like tops.
Fact is that the one I'm going to go with no longer really writes. That's the problem. So
that's interesting. Okay, good. So I'm glad you're giving us 2. Let's go.
So I barely got in this hobby back in 2012. Got a couple cards, got some points, burnt them right away for specific use. It's for a honeymoon. I didn't really get into it until like 2014, 2015. And the blogger that really got me engaged into Miles and Points was Drew McCumber of Travel is Free. I read stuff, ate it all up. He had the best, in my opinion, the best analysis. I love that he and Carrie were living on the road. They detailed all their expenses, what they spent for hotels, what they spent for activities and food and flights, etc. And I mean, they were coming off of what I look back and I'm like, that seems like the dream period, the previous few years before that of award travel. And I was still in college, but not even thinking about it. But so,
Ian is
but,
so funny.
so they were, but I love the stuff. He had lots on like fantastic uses of IQ points and how they maximize this and maximize that. And like I said, I am a numbers guy, and finding all these fantastic, phenomenal deals. And I started looking at some of the ways we use other points, Marriott, Hyatt, everything. I mean, that the world kind of opened at that point, because back in 2012, hotel points weren't even on my radar. I'm like, oh, cool. A few airline miles. I had gotten like the Chase card, Chase Sapphire Preferred, and which was just like to me the Chase card at the time. That's why I said that. But
Yeah.
and then I got a Freedom a little while later. Then I got a United. I mean, this is spaced over like 2 years or so. So just very slowly, kind of like, oh, good deal. I guess I'll take it and I'll use it someday. And it came in useful, of course. But that was when the rubber hit the road. Like, wow, we can do so much. And so that year, my wife and I went on a trip to Canada. Next year, we spent tons of miles and points on a trip to Europe for 30 days. And but he was the one who kind of got me that engaged into earning and burning. And I loved all his infographics, the maps. I really love maps too. And so for someone to go through all the effort to put these maps of hotel by category, especially most of them didn't exist on the hotel websites, fantastic. I loved it. It was phenomenal.
Okay, so now what about active blogger?
Oh, that's hard.
And you can't say Miles Memories because
Miles Memories.
You're on here also.
So even though at risk of getting fired, I'll say my next best favorite, I do really like Frequent Miler. I really like their stuff. So they're solid too.
That's my answer. Yeah. So we're good there. And who knows? Oh my God. We have a special guest.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yes. Oh my God. We have a special guest named
Husky. Who is Husky?
Husky.
Hello, Ian. Long time admirer, first time caller. Oh, good call. Good call. Where's your cat?
I am at a hotel, unfortunately, so I don't have him with me.
You didn't bring your cat with you?
No.
I thought you loved him.
I do love him, and he loves me. Actually, one of them loves me enough. He jumped in my bag on one of the trips. So before I was packing. So I have a picture of that too. It's super cute.
Well, you should send us a picture because we're gonna do a little photo montage of you and the cat.
Oh my God!
For please.
Fantastic.
Am I the marrying type? Has Ian chosen yet?
Yeah.
So Ian is about to plead the fifth on that question. But you know, I don't know. Would you like to ask the last question, which is, who does he think is like the worst blog ever?
Who's in the running? Travel update.
For my blog, worst blog ever, trash, garbage.
There's nobody in the running yet. So Husky, do you mind like sitting around for 10 minutes while we?
Sure. What do I got to do?
This is the best thing ever. Oh my God. Oh, wait.
Yeah, I think you're overselling that just a little bit.
No, this is the best. This is the best. What happened to the panda suit? I'm just curious.
Panda? No idea what you're talking about.
So, okay, so audience.
Totally thrown.
PDX deals guy.
But now Ian knows.
Well, you were guessing.
Assuming Ian knew, but no.
I figured it out. First, I'm like, who else would just join the call? Who knows she's having a call? But.
Oh, I wrote. You know why? Because he's never heard your voice.
Who?
Yeah.
Ian's never heard your PDX's voice. Yeah.
I see.
Hal is amazing.
Oh my God.
Want to come say hi?
She's adorable.
To Bethany. Why am I wearing this? Who I am.
Are you there? Well, your face is frozen on the best frame ever. Thank you so much for watching. We hope that you enjoyed the show. And definitely follow Ian and read all of his articles on Miles to Memories, the Points Guy, and the travel update at boardingarea.com.